If the version of you from 5 years ago could see you right now, what would they be proud of? What would they be deeply proud of? Welcome back to The Reset with me, Shaun Tucker. This is episode 102. That question took me back into deep reflection. What would I be proud of if that version of me from 5 years ago could see just how far I've come? Because if I'm being honest with you, 5 years ago, I didn't have a business. I lost my business to COVID. We were in lockdown here in Melbourne, and I'd only just opened and started going online in August 2021. That was 5 years ago. I found myself in a pretty deep depression. And it's taken me a long time to really regulate my way out of it. Because if I'm being honest with you, prior to the lockdowns, I was working hard. I was making my dreams come true. At least what I thought I wanted. And truth be told, what I'm building now, I'm sure it's coming from the right place. What I was building then, that was coming from here. A lot of it was coming from lack. A lot of it was coming from me trying to prove myself. And I share that with you because I know how scary it is to stop and change your direction. Fortunately for me, the change was forced upon me. I didn't pivot my business to go online when COVID lockdowns came on and shut all gyms down. It was supposed to be a health crisis. Yet the one thing we did is went into isolation and were prevented from actually going out and doing exercise. We couldn't even access gyms. Fortunately for me, I did have a gym in my garage that I used. I used pretty much to the nth degree. But I know so many of you didn't get access to that. And yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't allow the people I was helping to follow me and follow my journey along, because I did lose myself. And I needed to lose myself to get to the point where I am today, where I can speak and share from a place that's congruent and aligned. A place where I know how hard it is to get out of bed on those dark days. I know how easy it is when life is good to feel motivated and go and get stuff done. I know how hard it is when you hear a baby crying and you don't even know what to do. You feel trapped. But I also know that you just take one step, one pause, and just keep moving through. That's what will get you through. And surrounding yourself with the people who support you is the most important thing. Because the person that I am today in comparison to 5 years ago, I'm deeply proud of how I show up. How I was showing up 5 years ago, I was dressed in shame. I was dressed in guilt. I'd been married for about 2 years. We got married in 2019. My daughter hasn't even been born yet, 5 years ago. She's only 2.25 right now. We were trying for a kid, but I'm glad my daughter came at the time that she did, because 5 years ago was pretty dark times. I had a friend who helped me through a lot of stuff, And I know I did the same for him. We no longer see each other. I'd probably still call him a mate, but yeah, there's a lot that brings up that friendship still to this day. Because we were both running. We were both running from the realities we didn't want to face. And I'd love to share with you that both of us now have children and we're on our own paths and we're both forging our own happiness. So, back to the question. What are you deeply proud of right now of the version from 5 years ago could say about you right now? I'm deeply proud that I can sit in the tension. I can feel the tension, the emotion rise, and now I can choose what to do with it. For the longest time, I was at my emotional threshold. If things were falling out of control, which always they do, right? The irony. Something would just trigger me and push me over the edge. And because I'd learnt to suppress my emotions so deeply for such a long period of time, it would just squeeze out and leak. And essentially I would go into this massive crying fit almost. I would break down because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know how to regulate myself properly. To the man that I am today, I'm deeply proud that I get to show up and do all the tasks with honor. Is every task fun? No. But I do my best to make it fun. Because that's the difference between someone who finds joy purely through adrenaline and running highs, and someone who finds highs, someone who finds joy through the lows as well as whatever it is that's going on. Because it all comes back to we do have a choice. As human beings, we have choice. And the more you work on yourself, the more choice you can create for yourself. And it's absolutely perfect what you've been through to get through to this point right now. I tell you, I wouldn't have it any other way. So maybe you found this episode inspiring. Maybe you found it terrifying. I don't know how it will land for you, but if you found value in this episode today, I encourage you to share it with one person. And look at that question and answer it. Spend some time with it and just write out whatever is true for you. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's episode.